Hi everyone and welcome to Positively Kimmie. I am Kimmie. If you are new here, welcome. This is a safe space. And if you're one of my returning subscribers and my besties, hi guys, how are you? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Welcome to my Mounjaro journey, where I will tell you about side effects. I will talk to you about my progress, what I have done, what I haven't done, and how I know I messed up this week. But I'm aware of it, and I know next week is going to be a better week for me. So let's talk. When you take Mounjaro, there are side effects that you can get. And the side effects would be pancreatitis, gallbladder flares, small bowel obstructions, a lot of GI symptoms that you could get. Nausea, vomiting, constipation, extreme poop, all those things you can get. Some of you will have some of these, some of you will have none of them, and some of you will have all of them. It just goes depending on how sensitive your system is and where you started on your journey. Hopefully your doctors have started you on the lowest dose possible. Now, usually I show myself giving myself the injection, but I didn't have time to do that this morning, so I already took it. And I went up on my dose to 12.5. So this is the beginning of my 12th week. And I'm really excited about that. So far, I have had extreme poop, extreme fatigue, especially in the beginning. My hands all of a sudden started getting cold, which is also another symptom. I have GI symptoms, but I've always had a bad GI system because I had pancreatic cancer at one point. And they did what's called a Whipple surgery. And because of that surgery, I have always dealt with, extreme nausea, extreme vomiting, pancreatitis, small bowel obstructions. So you can't go by me. And they took out with the Whipple surgery my gallbladder, my appendix. So those are things that I don't have trouble with. But for the last 20 years that this has been going on, 23 years it's been going on, I get these things regularly, so they have nothing to do with the medication as far as I'm concerned. Now, you might find that this is new for you and you have these symptoms, especially the extreme poop and the extreme diarrhea, the extreme poop and the extreme constipation, and if it's too much for you to handle, then talk to your doctor about that, because he is your best resource. Also, there are a lot of people on the internet with good and bad and horrific stories about how it either worked for them or it didn't work for them. I find that it's worked for me. I am 3 pounds away from losing 70 pounds, and I did not do well this week, but I had a lot of things come up. My birthday was on Wednesday, and we had a party with a bunch of Mexican food, which is not fattening, by the way. It was awesome. We had steaks, we had tortillas, but I did have some rice, and made myself a rice bowl, and it was delicious. It was a little spicy, but it was delicious and something different for a change. My kids had it catered from Chipotle, and they gave you a tray of steak, they gave you a tray of chicken. The steak was a little spicy. My grandson would eat it and go, stuff like that. And then on Saturday, we went to something called the Rise of the Jack-o'-lanterns, and you walk through this place with hills and not hills. So whatever you go up, you must come down. Whatever you come down, you must go up. And there was a lot of walking, which was hard for me to do because my foot is still broken. And I have another 2 to 3 weeks of wearing the boot. So that was difficult for me. And the next day, my hip was killing me because my boot is taller than my shoe. So I was walking uneven to begin with, and then having uneven ground and rocks and stuff. It was very difficult. But we went out to dinner before that, and I had sweet potato fries. Why not? And the why not should have been, I should have had a salad, because the sweet potato fries, I have not eaten fries or bread in a very long time, and it puts weight on me. It makes me more hungry. The more I eat throughout the course of a day, the hungrier I feel the next day. I don't know if that happens to everyone else or if it just happens to me. But the more I eat, the hungrier I am. The less I eat, the less hungry I am. The Mounjaro helps with you not being hungry, but you go into this restaurant, and I didn't eat all day long, and that's a lot of my problems too. I don't eat as much as I should be eating in order to burn the fat. My stomach's holding on to the fat because I don't eat as much as I should, and I'm under, let's say, the most 800 calories, and I was working on that, but with everything that came up this week, I probably went over that, but my system isn't used to digesting that kind of food. So I know what I did wrong, and I'm still 187 pounds, so there was no weight gain, there was no weight loss, which was awesome. And this week's going to be a good week for me because I don't have anything coming up, and I'm going to really be watching. I'm going to order salads, I'll order my cottage cheese, the things that I like to snack on, that I have accessible to me, instead of just picking at whatever we have in the house, because we haven't had a lot in the house recently. So that's what I need to do differently, and I know that. If you're eating over 1,000 calories a day, that's great for you. You know, I have trouble getting that in because I'm not a breakfast eater. I don't eat lunch till like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I'm eating dinner very late, like 9 o'clock, and I know what I need to work on. And I say that every week, but then life happens, and life gets in the way, and life is just lifing, you know, and I know what I need to do. Next week I'm going to do my measurements, because I know, even though it's not showing on the scale, I know my measurements have gone down, and I'm really excited about that. So next week I will let you know what my measurements are. But for right now, I just stayed the same, which at one time I would have blown up another 6 to 7 pounds with not, you know, just finishing eating everything on my plate, which you have to also, you know, people my age have to get over the mentality that you have to finish everything on your plate. We were brought up that way, and it's still ingrained in the back of my mind. There are children starving all over the world, and I'm going to throw out this perfectly good food. Now, I could save it for the next day, but it never tastes the same. Some foods taste better the next day, but these things just weren't going to do it. So I have to get over that also. And I would like to start therapy to find out why I'm self-sabotaging myself, because every time I get to a certain point, I notice that near the weekends I'm starting to eat more, and I'd rather not do that. So I might start my injections on the weekend instead of on Mondays, and see if that will make a difference, you know, on how I'm processing. You know, Monday's always my cheat day, and when I say cheat day, I mean I have breakfast in the morning, usually a piece of sausage with half a biscuit and a piece of cheese, and then I don't eat till dinner time. So for me, that's a cheat day. And it's okay if you have things in moderation. I always say that. I think that's a good way to live your life. And especially if you're on a weight loss journey, you don't want to deprive yourself of something that you really want. So you need to get it out of your system. Take a bite, take a few bites. Don't eat the whole bag, don't eat the whole cake, whatever it might be. And that's my advice for you this week. So I'm going to take my own advice, and hopefully when I talk to you next time, I will be down 2 or 3 pounds. That's what I'm hoping for. And I'm hoping to start walking again. So with that being said, be happy, be healthy, be blessed, but most of all, be positively you, because there's no one else quite like you, and that makes me extremely happy. You guys rock. Love you.